Hello, people watching this video. I'm JJ Netter, and these are my favorite movies of 2012. I hope that in 2013 I can review some other movies for you, and maybe you'll find my reviews helpful. Otherwise, just enjoy this video. Number 10. Chronicle. Found footage has been done to death, so the only way to make it good again is to make an intriguing movie that could have worked without this filming style. Chronicle then takes this well-constructed movie it's made and only adds to the narrative by including the found footage camera as a plot point, being used as a reflection of the troubled teen the story centers around. With the third act rivaling that of any of those big-budget summer blockbusters, there's plenty to like about this movie, even if you're just surprised at how good it actually is. Number 9. Cabin in the Woods. If you haven't seen this movie yet, stop listening and just go watch it. I mean it. I'm not going to spoil anything about it here. Just go and watch it. If you're a fan of horror movies, if you're a fan of genre spoofed, if you're a fan of film deconstructions, you will love this movie. Just go see it. Number 8. Moonrise Kingdom. Wes Anderson movies aren't for everyone, but I've always found them to be a perfect blend of oddities and humor. Moonrise Kingdom continues this tradition in spectacular fashion, with a great script and great cinematography. But ultimately, Anderson works best with ensemble films, and with this collection of actors, some of them doing their best work in years, he makes another movie that will be a welcome addition to his filmography. Number 7. Skyfall. Before this movie, I had seen 3/4 of From Russia with Love and so many spy movie spoofs, I thought I had James Bond figured out. After Skyfall, I realized that you can make a James Bond movie with something that's really been lacking from those films: thematic value. Blending the old Bond with the new Bond injects a true appreciation for Bond as a character and as a franchise, making Skyfall comparable to movies outside its own film series when discussing which is better. Now I get I probably don't have the credentials necessary to claim that it's a good Bond movie, but it was one of my favorite movies this year, so that's why it's on this list. Plus Adele doing the intro song? That's worth the price of admission alone. Number 6. Silver Linings Playbook. Funny, dark, and ultimately sweet, this movie caught me by surprise. A lot had to go right for this movie to work, from a believable cast to the thin line it walks between cynicism and saccharine. But David O. Russell found the perfect balance to make it resonate all the better. Jennifer Lawrence is fantastic as the neurotic widow Tiffany, playing off Bradley Cooper's own bipolar character perfectly, showcasing one of the most enjoyable love stories of the year. Number 5. The Hobbit. Purely on the source material, there is no way The Hobbit could compare to the sprawling epic that was The Lord of the Rings. That doesn't mean that this return to Middle-earth wasn't worth it, because it most certainly was. Upon seeing the Shire again, it's hard not to remember how great it was watching The Fellowship for the first time, and realizing that someone actually succeeded in pulling off Tolkien's unfilmable series. Martin Freeman plays Bilbo with the perfect blend of exasperation and determination, and the Riddles in the Dark scene only shows how great the next 2 Hobbit movies will be. Here's hoping that next movie's reunion between Holmes and Watson will be as fun as this one was. Number 4. Django Unchained. I don't dislike Quentin Tarantino, as a director anyway, but I've always thought his movies lack the cohesion necessary to really be movies and not just a collection of really awesome scenes that happen to exist in the same universe. I mean, if you don't get to see Jules in Pulp Fiction, do you really keep watching for Bruce Willis? With Django, though, Tarantino decided to focus on one character and stick with his personal revenge story to the end. This, combined with Tarantino's natural ability for crafting humorous dialogue, over-the-top violence, and writing fascinating characters, makes this film stand out among his work as one of his best. Number 3. Lincoln. Leave Steven Spielberg and Daniel Day-Lewis a script adapted from one of the greatest books about our greatest president involving one of the greatest moments in American history, and you get an amazing movie. This movie belongs to Day-Lewis's Abraham Lincoln, showing the 16th president as a true political strategist, and perhaps more importantly, as a man. Every bit as tense as the courtroom drama, this is a movie that should not be missed. Number 2. The Avengers. To think that this movie actually managed to get made is amazing in its own right, but that it managed to be one of the best movies of the year was unthinkable. Of course, a lot of this credit must go to Joss Whedon, who just gets team dynamics, and if any movie needed this, it was Marvel's culmination of 5 years of movie continuity. The final battle sets a new standard for superhero movies, and I would have paid full price just to see that. But every scene of interplay between the team, from Stark and Banner's bromance to Captain America's adjustments to a new time, makes it worth sitting the 3 hours to watch it. Number 1. The Dark Knight Rises. Was this a perfect movie? No. Do I care? Absolutely not. The conclusion to Christopher Nolan's brilliant re-imaging of Batman. I went to this movie with high hopes and I was not disappointed. Nolan managed to create and pull off one of the greater movie trilogies of all time, even if those movies do have the simple yet ridiculous premise of rich guy dresses like Bat and beats up criminals. Everybody brings their A-game, with special mention to Anne Hathaway and Tom Hardy, and the end result is something remarkable, finishing this new Batman legend in style, and perhaps more uniquely and importantly, with a happy ending. I sincerely hope that whatever DC and Warner Brothers decide to do with the Justice League movie, they leave these movies out of it, because they deserve their own universe, no matter what anyone says. So there you have it, my top 10 movies of the year. Here's for 2013, and may it bring us just as many good movies. There's nothing in here.